Hello and welcome to a video with me, Raindale. And today is a video I didn't originally plan on making, but I received some questions about my plan for the anniversary, and I can understand why people would be interested to know about that, so I'll be covering that, and also replying to some comments that I think would bring value to the community. I saw Mysidia Gaming do that in some videos, and I think it's a really interesting concept, so I want to try it out and see if the community likes it or not. But first, let's take a look at my anniversary plan. And before I begin, I want to say my plans are not finalized yet. I'm still thinking this through, but my idea here is I'll be going through my own thought process with you guys, and so we can kind of figure out where I'm standing right now, and perhaps with my thought process, you'll make your own thought process progress forward a little bit. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I brought up the timeline from the JP side so we can take a look at what's coming very shortly. So starting with the anniversary, we'll be getting a batch of EX jobs, and I don't want to talk about my plans for which unit I'll take to EX yet, because honestly I need to look at their kits again. What I will say though about the first batch is I know Oldoa's in there, and I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe she's the only unit that I have at 99 right now that's going to be in the first batch, so it won't be too complicated for me to choose. I know I love Oldoa, so I'll probably just begin leveling her and ignore the rest of the first EX job batch. That is aside from Titus. So we'll be getting a couple new things with the anniversary, and I'll look at the whole Final Fantasy X event as one. So we'll get 3 vision cards. 2 of them are UR, one of them is going to be MR. And first, I guess I want to talk about that. Bahamut. He is probably the most hyped of vision cards for a long while. It's going to be the first double cost vision card. So the shards are going to cost 100 vision ore each, just like the double cost units, if I understood this correctly from what's coming from JP. And then it's a vision card with crazy stats. It gives a ton of HP, ton of magic, it gives agility, spirit, luck. It's like way above the mark. And then the individual ability gives a ton of magic, way more than the average individual ability. The party effect gives 50 magic and then 10% accuracy, and at 99 it even gives 20 attack resistance. Overall, it's just way above anything else that is in the game so far, and honestly, it's above anything else that's been released in JP since then as well. But I don't want to really go for it, and the reason for that is, first, I'm expecting that since it's a double cost, the chances of it dropping are going to be lower than usual UR vision cards, and I don't think we'll have a step up where it's guaranteed that we get it. If there is, I might revise my opinion, among other things, because it's a guaranteed Esper that's going to be super powerful as well. He's released with 3-star Espers, and starting with this release, there will begin having a couple 3-star Espers. If I remember correctly, the first batch is Ifrit, Cactuar, and Bahamut, but don't quote me on that, I might be mistaken. Anyways, you guys already have the Espers that you have, so it won't influence decision making too much. But the main reason why I don't want to pull for this card is because it's going to be a double cost card that's only going to be useful for one element. If my account was tailored especially towards light and all I ever wanted to feature in videos was light units, then I would definitely go for it. But as it stands, with a double cost vision card, it's going to cost me so much to pull this and then max it. It's probably going to cost me as much as 1 or 2 units, I guess, and I would rather have more things to show you guys than one thing that makes very specific team comps much stronger. So I'm not too interested in it. At least that's where I'm standing right now. The other vision cards are going to be the water one with Titus and Yuna, and this is a very interesting one. If we follow the JP side, it's going to be a strong card, which I think is handed out for free, but not free to max out, obviously. So depending on how you want to invest, it might be worth it. Again, I'm not entirely sure what banners we'll have, what we'll have for free. We might have a different event from the JP side. But at any rate, this card is really strong for water units, and I do have a couple of them. So if we have to pull for it, I'll skip it. I don't want to pull for something that's element limited yet. I'm not too certain about that. But if we do get it for free, I'll probably invest Visionor to max it because it's interesting. It's a slash attack card with attack up on an individual ally. It's great for Titus, but also for water teams in general, so I can definitely see some use for it. Then there are a bunch of MR cards, and they seem interesting, but honestly, I would not go and spend Visionor on those, just because in the long run, they're not going to have the stats to hold on with other, compared to UR Vision cards. Like, this is great, nice abilities, but it only has 97 attack and 78 magic. So overall, I won't really run this often compared to cards that have somewhere along the lines of 150 attack. Just the raw difference in stat is too much to bear. Now we can talk about units as well, because a major part of the anniversary is units. So we'll be getting Titus for free. I do intend to level him at least to 99 or 89. I'm not even sure. He's a really cool unit, and with the EX jobs, we'll have something that's really cool. But I'll have to count just how much it costs to get him to 120. And whether that's worth to do now or not, because a short time after the anniversary, there will be the Nier Automata collaboration, at least if we follow JP's schedule, and I'm really thrilled for those units. I'm a big fan of Nier, so I might want to save Visionor for that event. So that's part of my thinking here. Starting with the anniversary, we will be able to get shards for time-limited units over time through the barracks mechanic. So even if I don't go all in on Titus, I know that in the long run, going back to one of my other videos here, I will eventually have him maxed. I am fine with not having him maxed immediately if I know that eventually, like 3-4 months from now, he's going to be usable and very powerful either way. So that's my thought process. I don't want to go too deep. This is not a review. I'll do review for all of these things when the time comes. Now, what about the other units? There's going to be Yuna, who is super hyped. She can cast Re-Raise, Full Life, deal a ton of damage with guaranteed hits attack. She's just incredible in general. If you watch JP side videos, you've probably seen how dominant she is. And then Oron, who I'm honestly not that excited about. He's like a, I'm not even sure what he is, so that goes to show how not very popular he's been on the JP side. And those two units seem fairly interesting. Thing is, depending on the banners we have, I'm not sure I'm going to go for either of them. My thought right now is if there is a step up, like the one we have for Garval and Elsirel, that might make me want to pull, because I'll spend a bunch of Visionor, get shards for them, and then depending on shards I got for who, and if I pulled one of the units in the step up, I could use some paid viz to go for one of the units. But again, I'm not entirely sure. Depending on what the banners are, I might make a different decision. I am not a die-hard fan of going for Yuna, for the reason I mentioned earlier. The Nier Automata collaboration is going to be coming afterwards, and for me, for my personal fandom, I guess, I'm a big fan of Nier. I really want to pull 2B and max her, more so than Yuna. So even though she's a really cool unit, my fan factor comes in here, and I might want to save. So I keep talking about Nier, but we will be getting two really nice vision cards in the meantime. One's basically tailored towards Dark Team and is really powerful, although we'll probably get one that's different from what JP got, because it's very similar to our current Irresistible Darkness card with Dwayne. And then the other one is for light attackers. It's also really strong, and it has an ability for Rob Horn, who's going to get an EX job in the meantime. After that, comes the Nier collaboration, and it doesn't show here, but there's 2 units, including one that we'll get for free, similar to Titus, and a vision card. And at that point, I'm planning on going all in and building whatever I can. Then we'll take a very quick look. We will then get another 100 cost unit, which is Mont. He is a great tank who can generate hate in a way similar to Warrior of Light, so he's very reliable, and he can berserk in huge AoEs and just generally debuff the enemy team very well. He's going to be very dominant, very strong. I'm not sure how much I want to go for that kind of unit, because I have in mind that I could, for the price of 1 unit, be featuring 2 units. So taking my channel into account, it might be better off for me to build other units than the 100 cost ones. But I'll see. It's in a 1 more month at least, so I might have time to change my mind there. And then we're moving on to other stuff. Other nice units, but eventually it's going to be Helena, who's another 100 cost unit. That's coming a short amount of time after Mont, so lots of tough decisions in the future. So that's it for the timeline. I think that sums up my plan pretty well. So skip Bahamut, maybe pull for Yuna if the banners are good enough, but if the banners are not good enough, I'll build Titus. Perhaps the 99, perhaps a little bit higher. I might build the Titus Vision card, I'm not sure yet. Because I want to hold off for Nier, and then I'll get I'll get poor in the game. And I'm trying to keep my spending under control. I have a budget that I've set for the anniversary that I'm willing to spend if we get really good banners like we got for the winter time. Like there was paid viz for roughly half the price with super cool extras. So if there is something like that, I will be fine with spending some money. If the deals aren't that great, then I might hold off. I'm not sure. I've got some 6K-ish Visional right now, and I don't necessarily want to spend it all too early. I do want to point out I am a rather heavy spender compared to other YouTubers. You might consider that heavy or not, but to give you an idea, I'm currently Royal rank 8, so you consider that the status you wanted to consider it. So, I guess that's it for the anniversary plan. So let's move on to some comments, and I will not be sharing every single one of the comments I'm getting. The reason being, there's a ton of them. So what I'll say first, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. I am glad to have more people in the community. I do read and answer every comment. If I ever grow too large, I guess, to do that, I'll try to have a different plan, but for now it's really important for me to reply to them, and honestly, your comments are what make me want to go for it. I get a lot of love, a lot of positive feedback, it's great, lots of positive reinforcement, and honestly, lots of constructive feedback that allows me to improve in what I'm doing. As you all know, I'm still fairly new at this, and I think I'm improving as we go. So the comments that I'm bringing on screen aren't all the comments I liked and all the comments I enjoyed. I love all comments I'm getting, honestly, and I thank you very much for them. The ones I am going to bring on screen are comments that I think will bring more value to you as a viewer. It's questions that I was asked or things that were brought to my attention that I did not know beforehand, and that I think sharing with you might provide some value. So I got a comment asking, how does the game handle positive and negative modifiers of the same stat? So there aren't that many occasions in the game where stats can be affected by buffs and debuffs at the same time. Most of them come from equipment. Some equipments, for example, the Razalgethi, the gun, has a -3 agility. So how does that count with the equipment stacking? Well, the -3 doesn't count in the equipment stacking. You're just going to lose 3 agility from the total that everything else gives you. The same goes for passives. If you're equipping something like Self-Sacrifice on turn, you're losing 8% of all resistances, and that's just subtracted from whatever resistances you had with all your gear and all your other stuff added beforehand. Same goes for Blade Soul from Whisper, for example. It's going to take 3 defense off of your total, counting equipment, espers, and all that. If you have Blade Soul, you just lose 3 flat. I do want to point out though, when you're in combat and you get a debuff, for example, you lose 40% attack following Mighty Break from Ruinstern, which I believe is at 40%. The 40% that you lose is same as for percentage bonuses. You lose 40% of your base stat, not 40% of your total attack. So stat breaks are not as strong as you might think. Because you don't lose that much out of your total. Usually, the base attack of a unit might represent, say, 1/3 of their total attack going into a combat, so 40% of that is not as much as 40% of your total attack in this example. So, next comment in the stats, how they stack and what they do. Well, what about equipment ability? I did forget to touch on that. So say you're wearing a smart coat and a Bale Gauntlet. They both have magic resist percentage. Well, everything that's in the box under bonus, I guess, from an equipment or equipment ability, do not stack with each other if they are the same bonus. You will only get the largest one. So if you have magic resistance on 2 pieces of equipment, you're only going to benefit from the stronger one out of them. Same goes for evasion and honestly any other kind of bonus that is in this box. So I forgot to mention it in the video. There you go. Now, about Clairvoyant Astrologer. Andre here. Let me know that for him, since he doesn't have a maxed out Ifrit, it's way more worth it. Plus, he's playing a ton of other Pierce unit. And yeah, I do want to point out, if you don't have an attack card that gives you more than what Clairvoyant Astrologer has, it really might be worth it, because you're getting the option of attack up, which is by itself super strong, and then it also has a bunch of other stuff, like I've covered in this video. So yeah, if you don't have Ifrit, it's definitely it's much more worth pulling for, in my opinion. Now, another note from Gamma Fighter was that he likes this card a little bit less because 2 of the main spear units, I guess, have their own cards that are better for them. Like Kane has Demon Wall, that's super strong for him specifically, and then Glaciela has Titan, that's again super strong for her specifically. And I want to point out that this is true. Like, these cards are BIS on their specific units, and while you might want to run Clairvoyant Astrologer on Glaciela because you want the vision ability, for example, or you want the party ability for the rest of your team, her total attack is going to be lower than if you were using an attack up and then Titan on her because of the individual unit ability that's specific to Glaciela in this case. So yeah, very good point. It's not BIS on all spear users, far from there. Now, a comment on my mastery video from Ray that pointed out that Winter Victorious TMR is very useful in this map, because I complained about the map blocking me from using a bunch of units. I can't believe I didn't think about using this TMR on this map. Thank you. I will try that out and see if I can make it work, because I feel like that just opened up a bunch of new possibilities for me. At least as long as they don't change the map, which I'm still very eager for. So that was it. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. It will make it more likely that you see more of my videos in the future. And then, do you guys like this kind of more conversational format? It's a bit different. I didn't have much of a planning for this video. I knew what I was going to talk about. But yeah, if you enjoy those, I'll make more of them. And then if you want me to keep to my usual stuff, let me know. I'll keep doing those for sure. So have a great rest of your day, and thanks again.